රයිට් මේ විදිහෙන් මම අරන් වෙලා තින්නේ ලාස්ට් ෆ්‍රයිඩේ මම වවුනියා යුනිවර්සිටි එකට කරපු සෙෂන් එකක්. ඉතින් ඔයාලා ගොඩක් කට්ටිය මේ සෙෂන් එක පුළුවන් නම් ඔන්ලයින් රෙකෝඩින් එකක් දාන්න කියලා කියපු නිසා තමයි මම මේක රෙකෝඩ් කරලා YouTube එකට අප්ලෝඩ් කරන්න තීරණය කරේ. ඉතින් ෆස්ට් ඔෆ් ඕල් වවුනියා යුනිවර්සිටි එකට ගොඩක් ස්තුතියි මට මේ ඔපචුනිටි එක දුන්නට. ඉතින් මේක මම මේ සෙෂන් එකේදී කරේ ගොඩක් බේසික් දේවල් Flutter සම්බන්ධව and overall mobile application development සම්බන්ධව. ඉතින් මේ වීඩියෝ එක මම රෙකමන්ඩ් කරන්නේ ඔයත් මොබයිල් ඇප්ලිකේෂන් ඩෙවලොප්මන්ට් වලට එන්න බිගිනර් කෙනෙක් නම් ඔයාලට ලොකු අයිඩියාවක් ගන්න පුළුවන් මේ වීඩියෝ එක බලලා. ඔයා ඉන්ටර්මීඩියට් කෙනෙක් නම් මේකෙන් ඔයාලට ගන්න දේවල් නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. බට් පොඩක් ස්කිප් කරලා බලන්න ඔයාලට මොනවා හරි දෙයක් එකතු කරගන්න පුළුවන් නම් ඒක ගොඩක් වටිනවා. හරි. ඉතින් මේ සෙෂන් එකේදී මම යූස් කරපු හැම රිසෝස් එකක්ම මම ඩිස්ක්‍රිප්ෂන් එකේ ලින්ක් එකක් දාලා තිනවා GitHub repository එකට. ඒකෙන් ඔයාලට මේ දේවල් හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්.
Good evening, everyone. I warmly welcome you all to this exciting session, Flutter Watch, hosted by the IEEE Computer Society chapter of the University of Vavuniya. This session is designed to help you build powerful UIs using core widgets and master layout strategies in Flutter. It's now my pleasure to invite Mr. Dishan, the chair of the IEEE Computer Society chapter, University of Vavuniya, to officially commence the event with a welcome speech.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It is with a great joy and enthusiasm that I welcome each and every one of you to Flutter Folk, a vibrant and enriching session proudly hosted by the IEEE Computer Society chapter of the University of Vavuniya. A very special welcome to our esteemed speaker, Mr. Samin Santipa. We are truly honored to have you with us today. Your presence brings immense value to this session, and we are excited to learn from your expertise in Flutter development. To all our amazing participants joining us from near and far, thank you for being here. Your energy and curiosity are what make events like this truly meaningful. We are so excited to share this learning journey with you. And of course, I must take a moment to sincerely thank the executive committee for our chapter, the passionate behind the scenes heroes who are worked with the dedication and unity to make this event possible. Your commitment and teamwork never go unnoticed. Now, to officially kick off this evening session, it's my honor to invite our dynamic leader, mentor, and constant source of support, Mr. Sami Santi. Sir, we are truly grateful for your continued encouragement. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. So also thank you from my side to having me for this session. Right. Let me share my screen. First of all, if you, I will continue this session now. So if you guys are having any questions, please feel free to ask. It's okay. Also, you can drop a message for me. If you are having any questions, please feel free to ask. Also, if I am not audible or something, also feel free to ask to do something, okay? Because it's raining outside, so I will turn off my video. I guess that will be okay. Right. So I created a small presentation for today's session. I plan to do some basics. So can I know whether anyone have previous experience in Flutter? Please drop a message if anyone have previously developed any kind of application using Flutter or have studied Flutter previously before this session or under your academics or something. Have you ever tried Flutter? Flutter or some kind of any type of a mobile development framework? If yes, please drop a message. It's okay. You can drop a message private. Until then, I will continue the session. So, I am Samin Chandeep. I am currently working as a software engineer at Geeks Lab. If you are having any questions, feel free to contact me through my LinkedIn. I will share all these details with you so you guys can study these things after the session also. So let's start with today's session. I guess you already, some of you will know about Flutter. So today's session is mainly on Flutter. I planned initially to do a session on AI agents, but you guys asked me to do some sessions around Flutter. So let's learn something around Flutter today. Okay. So the Flutter is this Flutter thing is very popular, and also there is a race in job market for Flutter developers. So there will be much more advantage learning Flutter. Okay, so let's see what is Flutter. Flutter is an open source framework created by Google. You all know Google. Google is the team is who created the Flutter. Flutter is open source also. Flutter will allows to developers to create apps that work on different platforms. So this is the main thing that Flutter is gaining this popularity. So using Flutter, we can create applications that application will run on different platforms. Okay, I will explain what I mean from different platforms later in this presentation. So you just have to remember if we created a Flutter app using Flutter. Okay, it will be able to run on different platforms, not only on Android, not only on iOS. We can run our application on many platforms. Okay. So here are the type of platforms that we can run our Flutter app. I guess you all can see. We can create mobile applications using Flutter that will run on both iOS and Android. I guess you know what is Android, what is iOS. These are the main mobile application operating system. Also, we can create web apps using Flutter. If we create a mobile application using Flutter, we can tweak that application to run also in the web, also in the desktop. So if we create a single application, we can run that application on all on mobiles, on web, and also in desktops. Desktop can be having operating systems like Windows, Linux, or macOS. So I guess now you can understand if we create a single application, let's say if we create an application, some kind of application, let's say we create a to-do application. If we create a to-do application using Flutter, we can run that to-do application on any mobile device. Any also as a web app in the in websites can run on browsers, and also as a desktop application. Right. That's the main thing that you guys should remember. So here are the target platforms. I guess you guys can understand from here. Let's say we are focusing mainly on mobile application side. So, if you are building Flutter applications, you must know these things. Okay, we can only test and build and run iOS and macOS applications in macOS machines. Okay, if you are building an application in Windows, you can't run that application in that Flutter applications iOS version in Windows. Okay, but if you are having a Mac, you can develop for the both platforms. Okay, you should remember that also. So if I am too speed or I am too slow, please tell me. Okay. So let's say I will explain the advantage of Flutter using some kind of an example. Okay. Let's say you create an application. Let's say you create an to-do application using Android, using Java or Kotlin. Yeah, we can create some Android applications that is native, only run on Android. Okay. Let's say we publish that application. You all know we can publish Android applications in Play Store. Okay, let's say we publish our Android application in Play Store, and many users are downloading our app. Our app is gaining a lot of popularity. So the best thing to do is now we are planning to create the same application to iOS users also, because we are gaining a lot of popularity from our Android version, but also we want to create the iOS version now. So if we are creating some kind of applications like an Android application using some kind of a native tool, let's say using Kotlin, that will be able to run on only on Android. Okay, we can't tweak it to run on iOS. So that's the problem. Then we should learn another technology or another language like Objective C or Swift to build the same application for iOS. So this is a very difficult task. Let's say we have to study a different set of languages and different set of tools to run build applications on Android. And also we have to learn another different set of tools and languages to build applications on iOS. Okay. That will be a very difficult task. Also, let's say anyhow we build the both application. Let's say we build the same to-do application for both Android and iOS using native tools. What are native tools? Native tools means the application that is native to Android. It will be only able to run inside Android. Okay. And native to iOS means that applications can be only run on iOS. Right. Anyhow, then we have created the two applications. So now there will be another problem. Okay. if we uh, if we have published our applications to Play Store or App Store, you all know we can download iOS versions from the App Store and Android versions from the Play Store. Okay, so if we want to push some updates to the applications, let's say we want to change whole color scheme of our applications. Okay, so that will be another huge task. Let's say we have to do the changes on both Android and iOS apps because we use native tools to build that application. Also, another reason is making apps responsive. So if you know, nowadays there are many kind of Android applications. So, let's remember about iOS and Apple devices. Let's think only on Android devices. There are many different varieties of Android applications with different screen sizes. So making our app responsive on these different screen sizes will be a much more difficult task. Okay. So these are some things. If these are some difficulties that we will face if we create our application using native tools. I guess you can understand. So here comes Flutter. So I explained you earlier, we don't have to manage two different code bases for Android and iOS if we build our application using Flutter. This is a cross-platform development tool. What means cross-platform? The same application that we created using Flutter can be able to run on both Android and iOS. So let's say we created an application called A. This will be able to run on Android and also on iOS. I guess you can understand. So that's a one reason the Flutter is getting more popular nowadays. So let's read this. So Flutter allows developers to create apps that work on different platforms. I explained this point earlier also, like iOS, Android, and web, using single code base. This is a much important thing to remember. If we create a Flutter application, we can make that application to run on all Android, iOS devices by using a single code base. So if we want to push some updates, we just have to update that single code base that will change the application. Let's say we are doing a UI update that will update the Android version and iOS version both, right? Also, Flutter constructs a hierarchy of widgets. I will explain what's a widget. I guess if you are not familiar with Flutter, the widget is the main building block of Flutter. Okay, I will explain what's the widget in later in this presentation. No worries about that. So widget converts into a render tree and then use that to plan the user interface on the screen. So the second point will be difficult to understand. I will explain this point later in this session. You will be understand this point that I added to the presentation after you understand what's the widget. Okay, we will come to this point later in this presentation. Also, this allows for flexibility and high performing UI rendering. I guess you can easily understand this point. Right. If you can remember, I mentioned some words. Let's say the widget thing. Okay. So if you are working with different, let's say if you are working with game development or mobile development, this word is very common in the development platforms. Okay. So here is widgets. Flutter have pre-built widgets. So if we want to add an app bar into the applications, we have a separate widget for that. I will explain what is an app bar. So let me show you. So here is the sample application that I ran. This is the default Flutter project. So app bar is the thing that is appearing over here. You can see the Flutter demo homepage. This is the app bar. So if you want to add an app bar to a Flutter application, we can use the app bar widget over here. So likewise, uh, there are a lot of collections of widgets that we can use to build our application. Okay, there is the widget called column. There is a widget called container. There is a widget called elevated button. This is some kind of a button. There is a widget called Flutter logo, also icons, text, containers. There are many kind of widgets that we will explore the widgets in the second section of this session. In the first section, I will give a brief understanding about Flutter. Okay, so that's the thing. A widget is not a difficult thing to understand. Widget is a thing that will help to build our applications more fast and more easily. If we want a app bar, we have to just get this app bar widget and plug into our application. Let's say if we want some kind of text like this, here's the text. You can see you have pushed the button like this. Okay. So if we want the text, we can use the text widget over here. So let's say this is some kind of a button. If we want this button to appear over here, we can use some kind of a button widget. Okay, that's the main thing the Flutter is working on. I guess you can understand. So understanding the widget is a must when we are working with Flutter. Okay, right. So let me click the link. Okay, this will take you to the widget collection inside Flutter. Let me show. Okay. I will share this presentation with you guys, so you no need to search for this. But if you go to the Flutter Dev UI and widgets, you can find the widget collection that they are offering. So here are the main kind of widgets. There are some kind of accessibility widgets. There are widgets that are supporting animation, motion, assets. If we want to include some videos, icons, we can use asset widgets. Also, there are asynchronous widgets, input widgets, layouts. Okay, there are many widgets that Flutter is offering. So let me go to the basics section. Okay, here are the widgets here are some basic widgets. Okay, app bar, column, container, icon, row, placeholder, image. Okay, if you want to study more on these widgets, you can go to their documentation and read the documentation. Okay, that will be much easier. So let me show. If you want to, let's say you want to read about app bar, you just need to click the documentation and all the things that you want to remember or you want to know about app bar is already added over here. Okay, this is the app bar class. So there are many things that you should know, but if you want to study more on app bar widgets, let's say some kind of any type of widget, you just need to go to the documentation and study. Right. Let's move to the presentation again. Okay. Dot. So this is the main thing inside Flutter. Let's say if you are using React, the main language is JavaScript. If you are using Next.js, the main language inside it is JavaScript. Likewise, if you are writing applications using Flutter, the main language inside Flutter is Dart. Okay. So can someone drop a message that have basic knowledge on Dart? If someone has some kind of knowledge about that, please drop me a message. It's okay. You can drop me a personal message. That should be fine. Personal means direct message through so. Okay. I will answer all the questions. Not only the answers for my questions. If you are having any questions throughout this presentation and app building, you can just ask from me. Okay, that's totally fine. So that is the main language that Flutter is running on. So if some if we are writing code to create an application, the code that we are writing is from Dart. Okay, that's the point that we should remember. Right. So why Flutter? So what's the main importance of using Flutter? So main importance is, as we remember, and as I told earlier, we have to just make the changes and updates on one code base. So that will be much easier. The same code base will be able to run in both Android and iOS. Okay. So here I also added some things on also explaining what are the importance of Flutter. Okay. So here I added about widgets over here. So no need to read all of these. If you want to read and know more on Flutter, please give it a go. Right. Also, this is a very popular feature in Flutter, the hot reloading thing. Okay. So hot reloading means, let me show you hot reloading. I have created a basic application for you. So I will explain. Don't be afraid of these things. Okay. So let me close this. So let me open the app and code side by side. I want to show you what is this hot reloading means. So let me take the emulator over here. Right. Let's say I want to change this Flutter demo homepage. This is the app bar. Let's say we want to change this word Flutter demo homepage to some kind of another type of a text. Okay. Here you just need to do some changes. I guess you won't be able to understand this. That will be totally fine. Okay. So let me show you. Okay. Right. It will be, let's say, you'll be understand if I showed you that. So this is the thing. If you can remember, yeah, a lot of things. Let me clear these things. Let me add these codes from the beginning. So we just need to create a main function over here. Okay. It's okay if you can't understand this code. Okay. Let me pause. I just want to explain you what's hot reloading mean. Oh, let me save this. Okay. You can see I did some changes over here in this code and I hit Control S to save these changes. And you can see the moment I save the changes over here, the changes are appearing on this emulator. Okay. Let's say I added, I will explain all these things. I just want to teach you. Let me add a scaffold over here. Okay. As you can see, I am doing changes over here and all the changes are appearing over here. Okay, that's the thing. That's the thing which is called as hot reload. Okay, so that's a main feature that Flutter is so popular because it will save us more time. Let's say it is taking 2 or 3 minutes to show the changes that we have done. It will be much more boring process, no? So it is very fast. We just add the changes over here and hit on save. The changes will be navigated to our emulator or the physical device that we are running our application on. Okay. So that's a very popular feature inside Flutter. Right. So until now, if you are having any questions or am I too speed, so please drop me a message or if you can also uh, switch on the mic and please give me some feedback. So Okay, right. So here are the advantages. I also added these things over here. Single code base for multiple platforms. Hot reload. Hot reload is the thing that I showed earlier, right? And rich set of widgets, high performance, native look like feel, strong community and ecosystem. So if you are having any errors, there is a strong community to go and ask. Okay. So from here, we are going to study some advanced things on Flutter. Okay, how the Flutter is rendering these widgets. So we are talking about the architecture of the Flutter. Okay, I told you. Let's say this is a Flutter application. In this presentation, there is a Flutter application. So the whole application is built using widgets. Okay, as I told earlier, if you want a app bar, you just need to add the app bar widget. You don't please don't think on these widgets. Okay, let me highlight this. Then so don't think on this my app, material app, my home page, scaffold. Remember those things. Okay, I will go to them later in this session. But if you want app bar over here, you just need to add a app bar widget over here. So this is called the widget tree. The widget tree will build our application inside our emulator or the physical device that we are running our application on. Okay, you should be able to understand this. Okay, inside this app bar, there is a text Flutter demo homepage. This is the app bar, and inside this app bar, let me clear this. And inside this app bar, you can see there is a text. So you can see in the widget tree, inside the app bar, there is a text widget. Also, the text is the widget. So let's try that. Okay. Let's say I want to add a red color app bar over here telling Flutter. So don't think on material lab, scaffold, and all these things. Just look what I am adding over here. Okay. Let's say you have to understand scaffold is some kind of a header thing. Okay. The main things that we should apply on this app bar should be inside the scaffold. Okay. So let's say in the scaffold, inside the scaffold, we want to add the app bar. So there is a property called app bar inside scaffold. So to a app bar, we are adding a app bar widget. As we saw in here, we are adding a app bar widget. Okay. Let me clear this. Right. Let's add the app bar widget. So every widget is starting from a capital letter. So you can see if I start to type, the VS Code is providing me suggestions. So I can add this app bar and okay, I can save this. Right. Now I added the app bar over here. Let's say now I want to change you can't see this app bar, okay? Because this is transparent. So let me change the color of this app bar. So if you want to change the color of this app bar, go inside the app bar. Okay. You have to go inside the app bar, hit control and space bar. You can see the complete list of properties that we can pass to the app bar widget. Okay. You can find all these properties from the documentation also. Let me show you. If I go to the documentation that I showed you earlier. Let's go to here and go to the basics. Yes, the bar widget. Okay. Now scroll down. So this is the main uh, shape of an app bar. There are many things inside app bar. You don't need to understand all these things. You just need to go to the properties section. Okay. These are the properties that we can pass to app bar. Okay. We can pass actions. We can pass action icon theme. We can pass the background color. So what we want? We want to change the background color of our app bar. No? We want to make our app bar red. So this will be our property, background color, the fill color to use for an app bar. Okay. Let's go and hit on Control space bar and let's go to the background color property. Okay. Now, if I hover over background color, okay, inside VS Code, we can hover on any property and this will give us a whole detailed explanation of what are the things that we should pass and what will be the property will do. Okay. In here, you can see the type of the background color. Okay. The background color property should be a type of color. Okay. Color is a type in Flutter. Okay. So we can pass a color over here. So we can pass a value. Just I will pass red. So if you are using colors like this, you can directly pass colors dot red like this. You can use any color. I just using red to show. I just want to show you. So I have added this color as red. So now I will go to the emulator and you can see now our app bar color is changed. Okay. This is the way that we are building applications inside Flutter. We can use the widgets that they are providing and from these widgets we can create our application. Okay. Let's say now we want to add the word Flutter inside this app bar. Okay. So let's go to the documentation and see what's the property that we should add. Okay. So here is a good image that they are providing. So if you want to add some word inside Flutter, inside the app bar in Flutter, we want to use the title property. We initially use the background property inside the app bar. Now we want to add the title property. Okay. Let's go into our app bar. After the background color, this is the line for the background. This will be formatted. Now you can see we just need to add the Flutter word here. Let's say we can change anything, button dot and hit on save. As you can see, the changes are portrayed doing over here. Okay. So these are the things you can understand. We added the background color and make it as red, and we add the title and make add the title as flat and dark. Okay. Right. Right. Now let's move to the presentation again. Right. Dot. I did this. I did this. Okay. Right. Let's say then now we have added the main home page. Okay. Now somehow we completed this part. This part is completed. Okay. Let me show. This is the app bar. This red thing is the app bar, and inside the app bar we used a text widget. So let me show the code. Inside app bar we used a text widget as the title. Okay. Right. Now I want to add something in the middle over here. Let's say I want to add the word university in the middle of my application. So how can I do that? So here, let me move. So here my app bar is completed. Okay. So inside this scaffold, there is a property called body. So let me show. This is the region that is belong to our app bar. Okay. Right. I'm audible. Okay. Now we should add something over here. So we need to modify the body of the scaffold. Okay. Here is the region that is belongs to the body. So if you want to add something over here, we just need to modify our body. I will come to here after I explain what is scaffold. Okay. That will be much easier for you. So likewise, we can construct our whole application. This thing is the way to construct our application by adding widgets. Okay, by layouting widgets on top of another widget, nesting widgets. So that's the thing. That's the whole point of Flutter. Okay, now we are going to create not a to-do application. I am planning to create a notes taking application with you. So to explain all these things, by following that application, you can understand many things. Okay. So let's come here and understand what's a widget in Flutter. Okay. As we know, let's read this. In Flutter, a widget is a fundamental building block or user interface elements. Okay. So as we can see, if we want to add the app bar, we just need to add the app bar widget. If we want to add the text, we need the text widget. If we want to add the add icon, we want the icon widget. Likewise, all these things are constructed using widgets. Okay, right? Such as buttons, text fields, images, and layouts. Okay, if you want the image, we can use a network image or a network asset. Or there are many type of widgets that we can use to work with images. Okay, if you want to know about those things, you can go to their documentation and give a read. Right, everything you see on the screen in a Flutter is a widget. You can, I guess now you can understand. If we add some kind of image over here, that's the image widget. Okay, so finally, everything you see on the Flutter application, in the screen of a Flutter application, is a widget, okay, including the app itself, okay. What that means. So now we are coming to the things that we added earlier. So what I meant over here, including the app itself, inside Flutter, the main app is a widget. So let me show you. So I guess you all know, if you studied C or C++ or those kind of programming languages, the main function is the point that our application is starting to execute. No, also in Flutter, here the main function is the point that our application is starting to execute. So we are telling inside our main application there is a method called run app. The method will tell to run to our application, okay, to start our application. You can see inside this run app, we should pass a widget, okay. So here, the my app is the widget that we created, okay. So where is my app? So my app is over here. So this is also a widget, okay. This is a stateless widget. I I know that's much more confusing, but try to understand. This is the main method. Inside the main method, the first thing we are calling is run app. Inside this run app, we have to pass our application, what app we want to run. Okay, the app type should be a widget. Okay, this is the widget that we have created. This is a stateless widget. Okay, I will explain you what is this stateless widget means. Okay, so this is the widget name. Okay, this is the type of widget. So likewise, our whole application is some kind of a widget. You can see over here, this is the my app. So this is also a widget we just saw. Okay, let's go to through the presentation and finally you can understand these things. Okay, widget include the app itself. Okay, right. Widgets are used to construct the user interface hierarchy in Flutter application. Okay, right. Widgets in Flutter are divided into two main categories. As I showed earlier, our main app we constructed using a stateless widget. So this is the type. This is a one type of a widget. There is another type of a widget called stateful widget. So these are the two main kind of widgets. So we need to understand what's the stateless widget and what's the stateful widget to understand how Flutter works. Okay, right. So now let's try to understand what's a stateless widget is doing and what's a stateful widget is doing. When we should use a stateless widget and when we should use a stateful widget. So to understand that, we should first understand what is state over here. We are telling that stateless widget and we are telling that stateful widget. So to understand these two types, we should first understand what's the state means. Okay, right. So let's give a read. What is state? In Flutter, state refers to the data that can change over time and affect the appearance or behavior of a widget. So this is a very interesting thing that we should remember. Okay, what is state? State is some kind of data. Okay, state is some kind of data inside our application that can change over time and affect the appearance or behavior of a widget. Okay, you will able to understand this later in this session, but now please try to remember state is data. Okay, state is just data inside our application. When the data get changed, the behavior and the appearance of a widget should be changed. Okay, you should remember that. So let's go to here. So as you can see here in the widget state, we are having two type of widgets: stateful widget and stateless widget. So now you should be able to understand what is stateless and what is stateful. Okay. So stateless widget. Let's try to understand what is a stateless widget, what is a stateless widget, and when to use stateless widgets. So let's give a read. These are widgets that do not have any mutable state. Their properties once set remain constant through their lifetime. Okay. So this is a very important thing to remember. So what is stateless? Stateless. So less means there are no any state, no any mutable state. So when once the state is set inside our inside stateless widget, that will be keep stable. That will be keep unchanged throughout the life cycle of our application. Okay, so that's the meaning of a stateless widget. If you want to create some kind of an application, some kind of a widget, let's say some kind of a widget that will not change with the data. Once the widget is set as some kind of a thing, that will stay same throughout the whole life cycle of the application. Okay, let's try to understand. Okay, if this Flutter and Dart thing is changing, okay, if the Flutter and Dart is changing, we can't create this widget as a stateless widget. Okay, but these things will not change. No, Flutter and Dart is the main title of our application. The main title of our application can't be changed. Okay, so we can create this title using a stateless widget. So stateful means the opposite of that. If you are having some kind of a state that is changing over time, okay, let's say uh, we are showing some temperature readings inside our application. Okay, you should understand the temperature will not stay constant. If we set a temperature value, that will change with the time. Okay, so that state will change. The state is the temperature, that data is the temperature data. So the state is temperature, the temperature is changing, so we need to update our widget state. Okay, so if our widget state should be updated in these scenarios, we should use the stateful widget to create our applications. Okay, right. You can see stateless widget only have the widget. Stateful widget have the both widget and state. Okay, right. So here I added some examples to you to understand. Here is a widget that I created. Let's say this is the widget A and this is the widget B. Okay, so can you drop me a message? What's the widget A? The widget A is stateless or stateful? Can you drop me a message? If you understand what is stateless and stateful, what will be the widget A? Whether it be a stateful widget or stateless widget? Great. Yes. Nice. Okay. Yes, you guys are correct. This should be a stateless widget. Why stateless? Because anything in this widget will not change. This icon will not change. This weather thing will not change. This title will not change. These button things will not change, these descriptions will not change. So if we set these things initially, these things will not change throughout the life cycle. Okay, but see inside in the widget B, we are showing the temperatures over here. So the 72 will not stay constant. This thing, these percentages will be not stay constant. These things will not be stay constant. So the states, the temperature values will change with time. So this is having a state. So we should use a stateful widget to create this kind of a widget. Okay, right. That's the thing. That's the states. Understanding these things will be very simple. So that's the thing. If we are using stateless widgets, these things will not change. If we want to show something change with time, we can use stateful widgets for that. Okay, right. Thank you. Right. So please drop me a message if you are having any questions until this point from the session. It will be fine if the question is not related to the this session. If you are stuck on some kind of thing, okay, please drop me a message. I will explain these things because from here we are going to explore some different things on widgets. Okay, so please drop me a message. I will give you 1 minute. Okay, if you are having any questions, please drop me a message. Okay, let's continue then. Right. Now we are going to understand what is material app. I think you saw a thing called material app earlier. Let me expand the code. Okay. So here's the thing. We created a widget. We returned a material app over here. So what is this material app and what is this doing? So let's go and read. Material app. Material app is a fundamental widget. Okay. So now you can see the material app is also a widget in the Flutter framework that provide a convenient wrapper for creating applications based on Google's material design guidelines. Okay. So this is some kind of a widget that sitting as a parent in every kind of our applications. Okay. So every widgets that we are adding inside our application should have a material app. So that's the thing you should remember. So the material app will help it set up essential configurations and features required for material design, navigation, theming, and accessibility. Okay. So when we wrap our application inside a material app, this will help to create navigations, change in theming, and also help during accessibility of our applications. Okay. So whenever we are creating a Flutter application, you should first wrap your application widgets inside a material app. So this is like a parent widget. If we go to the thing that we used, so this is the main application, and the next thing we are having is as a parent the material app. Okay, right. So when we wrap our application inside the material app, that will help for us in theming, navigation, and those things. Okay. Now we know about material app. So what is this scaffold? So let's go and read the scaffold because the material app and scaffold are two widgets that we should understand before trying to code the application. Okay. The scaffold is also a widget. If you want to read more about material app, please click on this link. I will provide this whole presentation for you. Okay. Please click on this link and you will be able to read. Okay. So scaffold also a widget. Flutter is a fundamental building block for implementing material design layout inside our application. It provides the layout structure for the top level areas of our app's UI, including app bar, body, floating action bar, bottom navigation bar, persistent footer buttons. So I guess if you are first time listening to these things, it will be much more difficult to understand. That's totally fine. But we saw the abba and we saw the body. So that's in short. If we simplify this, the scaffold will help layouting our application. Okay, so the scaffold will help to create the building blocks of our application. So okay, so the all so as you can see inside this is the scaffold. The abba is also inside a scaffold. Okay, so this whole thing is called a scaffold. The first part inside the scaffold is the abba. It's like the head. Okay, inside next if we want to add some kind of thing, so inside this below the abba there is the thing inside the scaffold called body. Understand this as a man. This is the head of the man. The head is the abba. Okay, the man is the scaffold. Okay, this is the body. Let's say stomach, legs, and hands. Okay, these things are belong to the body of the abba. Okay, let's add some. Let's say what we should pass as a body. So we should pass a widget as a body. Okay, so let's pass the text widget telling. Uh, let's say Flutter. Okay, some kind of this. So let's say, and you can see the thing Flutter is appearing over here. So this is not inside the abba. The abba is only the red thing. The body is the thing that is appearing over here. Okay, right. So that's the thing. If we want to maintain the layout structure of our application, the scaffold widget will help us for that. Okay. So if you want to read more about scaffold, please click on this link, and you will be able to read more on scaffold. Okay. So let's go and add something over here. Let's say we want to add another text over here. Let's say we want to add dart. I am not telling that we want to add dart like this. Let me keep these things side by side. Nice. Okay. Let's say I want to add dart below this flutter. So how we can do that? So there is another kind of widget that will help for that. Let's go to the widget collection. So if you go to Flutter, okay, and go to the docs, and you can see the whole widget catalog over here. Go to widget catalog. We saw these things earlier, and you can scroll to the layout widgets. Okay, now we want to build the layout of our application inside the body. Okay, now let's see what are the widgets that they are offering to build our layout. Okay, there are many kind of widgets. There are a widget called align, aspect ratio, baseline, center. If we want to center something, we can use the center widget. Container, constraint box. The thing that we want is, let's scroll. The thing that we want is this column. Inside column, the column is a multi-child layout widget. So what is multi-child? As we want to stack, or as we want to add another widget below the Flutter, so there will be another text widget. No, there will be another text widget. So we can't add another text widget like this. Okay, this is wrong. So if we want to add the text widget, we should keep a parent widget that can hold multiple widgets. So those widgets are called the multi-child layout widgets. Okay, you can see. Let's go to column. You can see this is a column. So this is a column. This is a column widget. The thing appearing as white box. Let's say this white box is a column. Inside this column, there are two kind of widgets. You can see. Let me you can annotate from here. No? So let's say this whole thing content change. So let's say this whole thing is the column. This is the column. And inside this column, we are having a text widget. There are text. So to write text, we want to add the text widget. And we are having an image. Okay, right. There are two widgets inside this column widget. That's why they are called as multi-child layout widgets. So let's add a column widget. So to add the column widget, we should remove this first and first add the column widget. Okay. Now inside this column widget, to see what are the properties, we should press Control and Space bar. So the first property is children. Okay. We should add children. Children are the things that are sitting inside this column. So these are the childrens. Childrens are the widgets. Okay. If you hover over this, children will be a list of widgets. Okay. So now we can add text. Let's say this is Flutter. Okay. So if I save this, you will be able to see the same thing over here. Nothing will change. But we can add another text by another text widget. This documentation is appearing. So let's say if I add dart and hit on save, okay, you can see the dart is appearing over here. Nice. Let's say if we want to add the icon, there is the icon widget for that also. We can add the icon. Let's say icons dot anything. So this is icon. Let's say we want to add another icon. There are many icons inside the library, icons library. So you can see over here, the column is holding three widgets. Okay, this is the way that we are going to develop our UI. So these are the things. So if we want to add the container, we can add a container widget, right? So let's see what are the things inside the container. This will appear also if we hover over this. You can see the container. We can pass a property as color. We can give the height and width. Let's give the height and width. Let's say width is 100 and height is 100. And if we save this, nothing will show because we should add a color. Let's say color is let's say yellow. If we save this, you can see this is a container, right? Likewise, we can develop our application, right? So this is the way that we are building layouts in Flutter. So now let's move to the second part of this session. So here is the application that we are going to build. This is some kind of application, not heavily we are spending our time on creating the widgets. But let's understand how to create a application that we can use. Okay, we are creating this application that we can add nodes, right? Right. To make our process easier, I have created the GitHub repository for you guys. So it's private still. Let me make this. Let me make this public. So right now you should be able to see this repository. Let me share this repository link with you. I will add this to everyone. Tell me if you whether you are able to access this repository. Inside this repository, you will be able to find all the things. This is the complete code that we are going to do today. We will not be able to do the complete code today, but you can give a read. Okay, I will explain you how to manage the folder structure and how to give the first initial thought on how to create an application. So also from here you can get the today's session PDF. Also, I will share these things in the end of this session. So just you need to see the code over here. Okay. So right, let's start working. So I have created some UIs for the application. This is the application that we are going to build. So we are going to start this application. So if you are having any questions until now, please ask from me now. I will give 1 minute. We will start 8:15. Please ask me questions. That will be totally fine. It will be also good for you. If you are having any questions, please feel free to ask. Uh, it's okay if you want to drop me a message, right? First of all, let's create this UI. Without thinking any things, let's go and create this UI. And first, let's understand what is the folder structure we should follow when creating a Flutter application. There are many folder structures defined for creating Flutter applications. My suggestion is that folder structure or the architecture that we should plan will directly depend on the level or the complexity of our application. Let's say this is pretty basic application, no? So we no need to complex our folder structure. So let me show how to create the folder structure. So let's keep the code as this, and let me show how to create Flutter project. So to work with Flutter, you first need to install Flutter inside in your uh, laptop or something you are working on. Okay. So if you want to install Flutter, so here's the session that I did with DP Education. So this is very comprehensive. This will be 220 like videos will be coming. You can be a fully completed mobile developer. Let me show the course for you. So inside this, I added many things that you can refer. So here are a huge bundle of videos you can refer if you want to be a mobile developer someday. Okay. So you can ask me any questions. Yeah, the videos are from English, Sinhala language. That's the problem, I guess. You can't, most of you can't understand Sinhala. So these videos will be in Sinhala language. That's the problem. But uh, so I guess there are subtitles. We are planning to add subtitles. Then it will be much easier for everyone to understand. So keep eye on these videos. We are planning on adding subtitles. So if you want to be a complete Flutter developer, please go through these videos. Okay. So right. So in these videos, I have shared how to install Flutter and all these things. Okay. Right. So if you want to contact me after this session or somehow, I in this GitHub repository I have added my LinkedIn. Okay. You can contact me anytime through LinkedIn. That will be totally fine. Okay. If you are having any questions relating your projects or something, please feel free to contact me through LinkedIn. Okay. Or email me. You can find my email. I will share all these things, but it will be much easier for you. You can contact me through LinkedIn. Okay. All right. So please ask me questions. That will be fine. Totally fine. Otherwise, this session will be much boring. Right. So first of all, you should install Flutter. Okay. To install Flutter, you can find many resources in the internet. Somehow you should install Flutter. That process is not easy, not simple. It will take time. So please follow a good tutorial. Then you should be able to install Flutter. Okay. After installing Flutter, you can go to your, uh, let's say I'm opening my CMD. So let me show. After installing Flutter, you need to run Flutter Doctor to uh, check whether all the configurations. Sorry, Flutter. Sorry, I misspelled that. So, eh, so let's say you can go to the Flutter and go to docs. If you want to, inside this documentation, there are many instructions. If you want to install Flutter, go to Flutter. Let me show the full process for you. So you need to search Flutter, okay? Then go to the first link. So the installation steps will be different if you with your operating system. If you are using Windows, Linux, or Mac OS, okay. So click on Get Started. If you are using, you should select your operating system over here, okay. Let's say if you want to install Windows and select Android. These are the steps that you should follow. So there are many steps, okay. Go through them one by one. Or in my videos, I explain all these things and all the prerequisites that you should have. So these are the steps that you should go. I am checking. Yes, this is the code that I should run. Yes, this is the thing. To verify all the things have set up correctly, you can run Flutter Doctor. So this will check whether all the things that need to run Flutter is already configured. Okay. Likewise, you need to set up many things. Okay. You need to install Android Studio and configure many things. So the best way to follow some video resources if you are a beginner. Okay. So here, as this, all the things should be checked. Okay. Right. Then if you want to check the Flutter version, you can use this command Flutter version. Okay. This is the up-to-date version. Okay. 3.32. If you are familiar with Google I/O 2025, they release new updates on this version. Okay. This is the latest version. Okay. If you want to create a Flutter project, you can create this like that. Okay. Flutter, create. Now you should enter application name. Do don't don't keep any spaces for your application and don't use any. There are many things you should remember. Don't use any capital letters, special characters, numbers for this. Okay. So if you enter, you can create a Flutter project. Okay. This will take some time. Okay. Now the Flutter project is created. All done. You can see. So after creating this Flutter project, you will be see some kind of a project like this. Okay. This is the basic structure of a Flutter project. Okay. This is not like some kind of React project or some kind of that because there are many pre-written code inside this repository. Okay. Inside this code base. There are many files and folders that you should not mess with. Okay. So let me go through this. So as you know, as I explained you earlier, Flutter is a cross-platform tool that the same code we are writing inside Flutter, we can run on both Android, iOS, Mac OS, and web. So all the relations, all the native things that wanted to be compiled and all the Android related things are inside this Android folder. So we should work with these folders as beginners. No need to understand all of these things. Okay, this will improve. These things will be improved with time. Okay, so these are the build files. These are the things inside this iOS folder are the things, all the things that are related to the iOS. So the lib is the thing that we work most of the time. All the code that we are writing should be inside this lib folder. Okay. In the lib, there should be a main.dart folder. Okay. As if inside React, there should be app.txx or app.js file like that. Inside Flutter, we should have a main.dart file. Okay. So the file that I earlier worked on is this file. Okay. All the things that all the codes that we should add to build our application should be inside this lib. Okay. Right. So these are some configurations for Linux, for Mac OS. These are the tests that we are writing. Okay. These are the configurations for web. These are the configurations for Windows. This is the gitignore file. You should know what is a gitignore. Okay. So, and from here, the other main important file is this pubspec YAML file. Okay. If you worked with React or some kind of a JavaScript framework, this is same as the package JSON file. Okay. All the packages are managed inside the package JSON file and package log JSON file. Likewise, we are having pubspec YAML file to manage all the packages and dependencies. Okay. And a pubspec log file. Okay. Right. Though these things will be understand when you start working with Flutter. Okay. Right. Now let's go and give a try to create this application. Right. So if you are having any questions, please feel free to ask. It will be okay if we will not be able to write the full code for this application. This will take some kind of time, but you can refer to the code from this GitHub repository, and all the resources that you need are also added over here. So let's try to understand the folder structure that we want to follow. All the folders and files should be inside this lib folder. Okay, that is very important. So we are creating this application. Here we should be able to break down this application from the logic. Okay, so if we are having any kind of models inside our application, we should add these models inside the folder called models. Okay, so here we just have one model called note. Here is a note model that we are working on. So inside these models, we will have a note model. We can add node dot dart. Why dart? As you should remember, I mentioned earlier, the Flutter is the framework. The language inside Flutter is Dart. Okay, Dart is simple. Dart is similar to C++ and uh, a mixture of C and C++. Okay, it is very easy to learn Dart. Also, if you want to learn Dart, in this video series, I created a comprehensive series on Dart. Also, I went through each and everything that you should know before starting Flutter. Okay, please go through these videos. So, right. Okay, now we have created our model. So now, if we are having any logic, let's say in here, we should have some logics, no? We should have some logics for this node model. Okay, we should have some logics for creating a new node, updating a node, deleting a node. Okay, so these kind of logics we should add inside the services folder. Okay, inside this services folder, we can add a file called node service. This is the notation. This is the notation that we should follow. We are not using camel case over here. Okay, this is the notation. If we are having some words to break, we are using a underscore like this. Okay, this is called as Pascal case. I guess you should know. This is not camel case. This is Pascal case. Okay, right. We should follow Pascal case in file and folder naming inside Flutter. Okay, that's a good practice. That's not a must, but it's a good practice to have. Okay. Okay, then now we create two folders, two directories, one for models, or only we have one model. If the application is getting bigger, we will have many models over here. All the models should go inside this model folder. Here, we just have one service, services related to the node, adding node, deleting node, and updating nodes, those kind of things. So, if we are having many services, all the services should go inside this services folder. Okay, let's see. Next, if we are having any widgets, so what I am saying here in Flutter, if we want a abba, we can use the abba widget that provided from Flutter. If we want a text like this, we can get the text widget that is provided from Flutter. If we want an icon like this is the edit icon, this is the delete icon, we can get the icon widget that is provided from Flutter. But we can create our own widgets. Okay, we can create our own custom widgets from the widgets that are provided from Flutter. Okay, what I'm saying here is, let me show. So let me zoom this. I guess this is too much. Okay, so I want to make this whole thing as a widget. Okay, so we can reuse. So if we want to, I guess you should all be familiar with working with components in React or some kind of a JavaScript framework that you have worked on. Okay, this is similar as a component. Okay, inside Flutter we are called these as custom widgets. Okay, we can reuse these custom widgets over here. Okay, we can reuse. This is the same custom widget that we reused over here. Okay, how we can create custom widgets. So let me explain this. Let me go to Excalibur. So let me explain this to you. So I am telling now, I want to create some kind of a custom widget like this. So let's say this is the widget that we want to create. Let's say, let me clear this again. So let's say this is the widget that we want to create. Okay. Here first, the widget is having a title. Next, the widget is having some kind of a description. Next, the widget is having two icons. Okay. So we can plan our custom widget structure over here. So let's say this is our custom widget. We can create custom widgets using existing widgets inside the Flutter library. Okay. We can get the title over here. Okay. Next, we are having a description over here. So this is the title. This is the description. So we are having a description over here. Next, we are having two icons over here. Let's say these are the two icons. Let's color them like this. These are the two icons. Right. Now, how to create this structure using existing widgets? So can someone tell me what's the type of existing widget that we can use to represent a title? What's the existing widget inside Flutter? Can someone tell me? Let me get a copy. Sorry, let me get a copy. Good. So we can use a text widget, no? We can use a text widget to show the title. And here also we can use a text widget to display the description. So to display the icons, we can use icon widget. Okay. So to display the icon, we can use the icon widget like this. Same here like this. Let me remove this and get a copy. So then here we can use icon widget over here. So to store custom widgets that we are creating from the existing widgets, we can add these widgets inside the widget directory. Okay, we can add these widgets inside this widgets directory. So let's give a name for this widget. Let's say this is a note widget. Note widget.tar. Right. Now, so we have created this widget over here. Now we can reuse this widget inside our whole application. So now what we should do? Now there's another thing we should remember. So we just created this part. So these cards are the things that we have created. So now we should think on this whole layout. Okay. So this whole layout is a page. So all the pages that we are having, we should add it inside a pages directory. Okay. Let's say the page that we are having is note page. Right. So likewise, simply we can manage our folders and file structures. Okay. Right. So let's go through the code. I guess that will be much easier for you. So let's go to the repository, and these are the same things. Go to the lib, and you will be able to find all the things. You will be able to find the code for models, pages, services, and widgets. So let's go to the models, and this is the node model. Okay, you can see this is the node model that we are using. So let me copy this. Without copying, let's create the node model. So you can create a new class. The class name is node. Okay, every class must be started from a capital letter. That is the thing that you have to remember. So let's add all the attributes. Okay, every node should have an ID. Every node should have an, let's say, should have a title. Every node should have a description, right? So ID, title, description. Let's say every node should have a date, the created date. So these are data types. I guess you should know. To represent dates and times, we are using date time in Flutter. So created date and let's say updated date. Okay. So after creating, we can add all these to our constructor. Okay. Like this, we can add all these things to our constructor. Right. Let me add these things as required parameters. Required this dot ID. So let's add all these things. I guess this is recommending. So let's add these things. ID, title, description, created date, and updated date. Okay. Now we have created our main model, a node model. Every node is having an ID, every node is having a title, every node is having a description, created date, and updated date. I guess you should be able to understand this. Okay, right. Now, inside this, we should create another method for creating and updating nodes. Okay, the reason why we should create these methods over here because we are planning to add the created and updated date automatically inside this class without the user to pass in this data. Okay, so now so for this we can implement this method as a factory method. So if you want to study what is this factory method mean, what is this factory constructors mean, you will please go through the Flutter series that I done with DP Education, and you will be able to understand all these things. Okay, so let me copy this and explain to you. So there's not much. So created date and updated date. created at. Let me check these things as created date and updated date. Okay. So here, this is the factory method, factory constructor. So this is able to this we can use this method to create a new node. Okay, we are creating new node from the parameters, from the things that the user is typing. Okay, so what mean user is typing over here? So when the user click on this add button, model will be pop up. Okay, after the model is pop up, uh, the user can add a title and a description and click on save. Then the data that is adding from the user is passed to this method, the title and description, and we can create a new node from that. Okay. Here the special thing is we are adding the created and updated date from this class without the user's input. Okay. We are not getting any inputs from this user interface. Right. I guess you should able to understand what I am talking. Okay. Right. Now you can see I am using this UUID thing. Okay. I guess you all should know what is UUID. Not this is UUID thing is not related something not related to Flutter. This is a common thing in development. Okay. We can create a unique ID from that. But now I'm getting an error over here. What's the error? Why I am getting this error? Can someone say? Can someone mention this? Why I am getting this error? So, have anyone used this UUID package earlier in your React project or in your Next.js or some kind of other project in your Spring Boot or something? Okay, so I will explain because the time is limited. If you work with React, if you are using UUID, you should install the package. No, in the same thing in Flutter. If we are using some third-party packages, we should install that package first. Okay. So how to install that package? Okay. So in uh, all we know is in let's say as we all know React. In React we are using npm, no, Node Package Manager. But in Flutter we are having pubdev, pub.dev. Okay, from this pub.dev we can find any package. This is same as the npm package or the thing that we are using to install other packages. Okay, the npm, if you type npm, you can go to the npm and find any package that we want to use. Let's say if you want to use this UUID package, okay, you can find this UUID package. Okay, right. Same like that in PubSpec in Flutter, the package manager is the pub.dev. Okay, if you want the UUID package, you can type UUID and you can install this package. Okay. So to install this package, you can go to there are many ways to install a package in Flutter. You can go to this installing section, and this is the package name, and this is the package version. You can see 4.5.1. That's the package version. So you can see Flutter pub add UUID. That's the command that we should run. So let's go to our project and run this. So let me open a new terminal. Let me go to view and create a new terminal. So in my terminal, I will go to the terminal and I will paste that command that I copied earlier. And this will help us to install the package, install the UUID package. Okay, you can see the pubget is running. The pubget is the thing that is getting the package from our repository, for our local repository. Okay. After this, so do not cancel this. Wait until the packages are installed. You can see got the dependencies. So where the package will be installed. To find that, we can go to the pubspec YAML. This is similar as the thing, the package JSON file. Okay. So inside, let's scroll, go to the pubspec YAML, and inside the dependencies, you can find the new dependency that we have added, the UUID package, from the same version. Okay, right. Now we have installed the package. Okay, now we want to import the package. So it's very easy. You just need to click on here and you can import the UUID package like this. Okay. So from the package UUID, we are importing this UUID v4. If you hover over this, you can see this is using a random number generation. Also, this is a example for UUID. Okay. I guess you all are familiar with this UUID things. Okay. Because every node should have a unique thing, because unique ID. Okay. To Google for which node we are referring. Right. This is the way that we are going to create a new node. Also, we have to create a method to update a new node. So if you want to see how the method is created, go to the GitHub repository. I have added comments. Okay. Please read the comments. Then you can understand further. So here in this update method, let me copy this update method. Right. Updated time, updated date. So right. In this updated method, what we are doing is we are giving the user to update the node that he have initially added. Okay. Let me show that inside my presentation here. You can see here. Let me hear this first. Okay. Let's say if the user want to update this node that is added from that user can click on this edit button, this edit icon. Then he will show this model over here. Okay. Here, this is telling edit node. This is the way that we are updating all the things that are added from the user pre-filled over here. Okay. Then user can make the changes to the title or description and click on save. Okay. Then what should happen is we should update the updated time from this. Okay. We are not getting this input from the user. We should automatically do this from our class. Okay. That's why we are implementing a update method over here. Okay. I guess you should be able to understand this, right? Right. If you are having any question, please feel free to ask. Right. Now, let me explain. The thing is, we are getting the title and description from the updated. These are the updated title and description. And then we are setting this title and description and we are updating the updated date over here. Right. These are all the things that we should do in our node model. Right. Right. I did the mistake over here. I added the model code inside the node page. That's not the thing I should do. So the date, let me copy this whole code and add this to the model. Okay, like this. Right. Let me close all the files. Okay. Now we done with the models. Okay. Now we can work on the pages or something. Let's go and see what are the things that we should work first. So let's see. Let's create. Okay, let's first create the services. Then we should be able to go through this. Let me again go to the code and go to the lib, and I will explain how the services are configured because the time is limited. So let me take a copy from here. Let me go to services. As we are configuring services, we are working with this node service.tar file. Okay, this will show some errors. Let's say. So this input should be changed. Right. So this is the node service class. Okay. So here we are creating an empty list of nodes. So here, as you can see, we are using an underscore. This is the variable name. If we use an underscore to initialize the variable name here, this will be a private variable that can be accessed through this class only. So this is the way in Dart this is the way to define private variables in Dart. Okay, right. So next, we should create a getter for get all the nodes. So this is the method to create a new node. So add new node. We should pass the title and the description, and we should create a new node from the title and description. We are referring to the method that we have set up in the method inside our model, the factory constructor. So after creating the new node, we should update the node list. Node nodes.add new node. The add method will add to the end of add the new thing that we are adding to the end. Okay. So they are also giving an example. Let me show that. So this is the initial list. If we add 4, the 4 will be added end of the list. Okay. So that's the way how we can add the new node. So this is the method that we can use to update an existing node. Okay. Right. I guess you can understand. To update, we should pass the node ID that we are updating also with the new description and with the new title. So to first, before updating, we should find the exact node that we should update. That is why we are passing the ID over here. So we should find the node to update. We can use the filter over here. First where. The first where is the first element that satisfies the given data. Okay. So in here, uh, the first where method we are using. Let me explain like this. It will help you. So this is first where is a filter. So any node having an ID equal to the ID that we have passed over here, we are getting that node. The first occurrence of that node. Okay, because no two nodes will have same ID because we are using Juju IDs, different IDs for every node, each and every node. Okay. After getting that ID, we can update. Okay. We create this update inside the class. Okay. This will change the title, description, and add the updated date over here. Right. Next, the final is delete. So if we want to delete a node, we should pass the node ID that we want to delete, and we can use this remove where method. This will remove all the objects that will satisfy this. Okay. Any node having this ID, any node ID is equal to the ID that we are passing will be removed. Right. Now let's go to the other thing. Let's go to the widget. Let me explain the widget. Let me get a copy from here and let me go to the node widget and paste the code. This will give me errors from the import. Now I can import the correct model over here. Okay. This is the widget that we have configured. So this is the thing I have explained over here. Okay. This is the reusable widget that we are creating. So here, every widget should have a note. Okay. Why we should have a note? Because we should display a note over here. We should display the note title. We should display the note description. So we should have the note inside our widget. Okay. As you can see, this is the stateless widget. This will be a stateless widget because these things will not be changed. Okay. Will not be changed with time. Right. Right. So here we should pass note and we should pass two callbacks over here. I guess these things will be much more advanced. So, but when you go through this code base through ISO uh, many times, okay, you should be able to understand these things. Okay, so we have created a stateless widget. That widget name is node widget. So every node widget should contain a node, should contain a method to delete the node and should contain a method to update the node. Why? Because we should bind methods to these icons. No, if we click on this edit button, there should be some method to run. If we click on this delete button, there should be a method to run. So these are the things that we are passing, and this is the UI. We are using a card widget. This is a widget that Flutter team is providing. Inside this card widget, we are setting the title as the node title. Also, we are setting the node's description, and we are creating two buttons to update and delete the node. Okay, right. I guess you can understand this. So now let's go to the other thing. What's we want to set up? Let's go to the lib again, and let's go to the pages. The most difficult things to understand are set up in this pages file. Let me explain these things. Let us go to the pages and paste the code over here. So let me fix the imports first. So nodes app. So we should create this constants file first. Constants file. So let's go and create this constants file. Inside this constants, I have defined some colors. Let me show you. Inside this constants, you can find this constants file inside this lib. So in the constants.dart, I have created two colors. That's all. The main color and the text color. Let me show the main color and the text color. Let's go to the page again. So here are the things that we should understand first. First, let me go to the main.dart and take the changes from the main.dart also, and I show you the application, working application, right? Let me import the nodes page, and let me remove this import and save. I think the application should be now working. Yes, this is our application. So the things that the things that are difficult to understand are the things that are in the page. Okay, notes page. So let me explain these things. So let me show the application. First, we can click on this button. This is the floating action button. So in this page, where the page is the place that we have created the whole UI. This is the app bar. This is the body. Okay, let me show. So don't think about these things. Please don't think about these methods. Let's go to the widget class. Okay, then you can see this is the app bar. Okay, this is the app bar. I set up. Let me show. I set up this background color and I set up a title nodes. Okay, and this is the body. So here I am doing. So this is the state with the where there are no any nodes to show. So I'm checking. If nodes are empty, please show a center text widget, a centered text widget. So I'm talking about this. So if you want to center something, you can grab that widget from a center widget. Okay. So I'm telling that no nodes yet. If there are some nodes, I'm using this special widget from Flutter, list view builder, and I am displaying the node over here. So this is a floating action button. Oh, this is a property inside scaffold also. So if you go and read about scaffold, you can understand these things. These are not difficult things to understand. So if I click this button, you can see a pop-up window is occurring to add me a node. So this logic is here. This is the logic to show the pop-up. This is the show dialog. This is the method that is providing from Flutter to show a dialog. Okay. So let me add the title over here first. Let me add the title. Let me say, uh, read a book and read a book today, and click on save. And this will add our note over here. And let me create another note session and Flutter session at 7 p.m. And if I click on save, these things will save. So let me delete one. If I delete this, this will delete it. So all these methods I have explained earlier. Okay. If I click on edit, this will pre-fill these fields. Look, you can see the session, the things that I had already added. Let's say I want to change the time to 8 p.m. I can change the time to 8 p.m. and save. Then the this note will be updated. Okay. So this the complex thing is here. Please give a read on this. Okay. And if you can't understand anything, please feel free to contact me through LinkedIn. So you can find my LinkedIn from here. So if you go to the README, you can go to the bottom, and from this LinkedIn link, you can find me, right? So these are the things that I plan to talk with you. Right. If you are having any questions, please feel free to ask me now. Not related to the session. If any questions related to Flutter or mobile development or some things that you have stuck on, so this is the time that we can have a chat on that. So I am stopping the screen share. So if you are having any questions, first go through these codes and that I have provided and try to understand. If you can't understand, please drop me a message through LinkedIn and I will explain. That will be totally fine. So if you are having any questions, feel free to ask now that question.